All right. Well, good morning. Good morning, friends. This is Eric, of course. So it's been a couple weeks, and with these couple weeks, I just wanted to say thank you. I've just gotten really busy for a short bit of time, and I was focusing on some things, and so it's been a couple weeks since I've gotten a chance to sit down and put something together for you guys. But I've gotten a ton of messages, some emails and texts and things, and so I love that. Thanks for everyone that's done that. Reaching out to saying, hey man, where you been, right? So, all right, so with what we're doing here, there's some time, and I got some things I really want to share with you what's happened over the last couple weeks. We're moving forward with, the keto diet, and improving our mental health. There's 3 things that I segment this video I've developed into with these videos that I want to share. So section 1 will say are some food choices that I'm finding that are really cool and helpful. So I've got a couple things here to share with you guys. The next step in the WRAP program, moving forward with that, which in this case, I look back over that last video. We want to be talking about it in the next sort of section or chapter, maybe, is your daily maintenance list, what you do each day. And then finally, I want to talk a little bit about what I'm finding in terms of growth, because one of the reasons I'm doing this is I want you guys to see what it's like for somebody to go from basically just starting. I know I didn't start this till I was involved with it for, I think it was 6, 7, 8 weeks. But pretty soon after I started the diet and just, moving through how I'm feeling and how I'm feeling, how I'm getting better. And the best that I can share with you is just kind of live. Here's that next day sort of thing. So, all right, first things first, foods. All right, so 2 things that I found in the stores. Well, actually, my daughter found them. I don't think I've shared these with you before. Quest makes both of them. Yay, Quest. But we're talking about treats. So these are just treats, that's all. But they're great because, in this diet, we cut out sugars, heavy sugars, carbs, as much as we can, and increase our fat content, right? Well, before all this, I was your worst diet eater, all right? So these things are really lifesavers, all right? So this thing, Quest makes them. They're little peanut butter cups, right? And a serving is 4 of them, and it's roughly 1 carb, 1 gram. All right. And I just wanted to show you, if you get to the store, and the cool thing about these, look, that's how big they are, but 4 of them, all right, is a serving for one carb, and then this one is like a chocolate brownie, all right, and it's also I think it's 1, 2. Is it 2? Wait, hold on. My brain jumps different things, and then I gotta go. I gotta check. So I'm giving it. Okay, it's 3. All right. 3 net carbs, 3 grams of net carbs. All right, but it's rich chocolate too. So they're just 2 things. All right, go to the store, look for Quest. They're not, in my store, they're not anywhere near like that area where you'll find Nutri-Grain bars or whatever. Because I dug. So go to the customer service and just ask them, where can I find Quest products? Again, Quest. And as I find other things, I'll share them with you. But just ask for them. Hopefully they carry them in your store, and they've got a great treat that can help you, like in the craving side, right? All right. So there's that. All right. In wrap, the next thing we're going to talk about is the daily maintenance list. So it's a list of things that you do that work for you each day to keep you feeling good, right? All right. And in order to do that, one of the first things you want to do is sort of identify for yourself what you look like when you feel really good. So do some, sit down and really do some thinking on that. What do I look like when I am feeling really well? How do I feel? I don't mean look like physically. I mean, what does it look like in your mental state? Like for me, for example, I've often thought the way I can tell when I'm struggling is when I cannot sort of see multiple options. I can't think outside the box. I kind of have that one, like it's got to be this way. And I can only see that one thing. I can't see multiple ways to solve problems. And once I sort of can realize that, like, I'm only fixated on this one way to do things, that's a hint to me. May not be the absolute answer, but it's a hint. And the other thing is, and this is going to tie into one of the last things I'm going to talk about, is what do you look like when you don't feel well, so that you can start, picking up on clues early on. And so I want to touch on that here at the end, because I actually stumbled a little bit, mostly, thankfully. Like I'm not really sure how to tell you to find that other than to constantly be aware, and the more aware you can be of how you're feeling. Like, today I'm feeling bad, today I'm not feeling bad, and what are the differences? So in the daily maintenance list, though, you want to know what it looks like when you feel good. And then we want to start coming up with some things for you to do literally every day. All right. That help maintain that for you. I've mentioned several times listening to Jimmy Buffett on a regular basis. Like it's every day for me. And that's just one example. But there's lots of different things you can do, and it would depend on you, what helps you feel better. Could be things like getting sunlight, obviously taking your meds. I shouldn't say obviously, but I just, it's at least at this stage, as we're moving forward and getting healthier, we need that which helps us feel good for now. The meds I'm going to set that aside, but for right now, I'm assuming you need to take them or you're already cured. Taking a shower. I know that sounds a little silly, but I can skip them, right? You're not going out anywhere that day. You're not going to see anybody. You feel lazy, like, screw it, I'll get it later on or if I'm leaving. But, stuff like that really does help you feel better. Now, here's what I want you to do. You got to get specific. You really want to identify things that for you make you feel better, okay? And put a list together of things you will do every single day, okay? Could be taking a walk in the sunlight, could be anything, all right? That's the daily maintenance list. It's a list of things you do every single day that you have identified for yourself that help you feel good. Okay, could be reaching out to friends. Doesn't have to be the same friend, but you have a group of friends, always talking to a friend. I've got a great friend I've had since I was in 5th grade actually. Somewhere in that ballpark. Probably summer between 5th and 6th. I'm 53 years old. Like, Pat and I have been friends forever. And to me, and I love it. And talking to him, man, it just makes me feel great. Talking to my kids makes me feel great. I love my children. Everything I do in life is for my children. Everything I do is for my children. Being a better person is to be a better father, is to be a better example. Everything about me is about being a better person for my kids, being a better father. So talking to them, absolutely, and friends, and there's just a few examples I'm throwing out there. This isn't something you need to research. You, just be honest with you. What makes you feel better? Okay. All right. So I'm going to drop it there. I'm going to get back to. I'm thinking of doing a very specific, a little bit longer, a little bit more in depth of some things that work really great for me. But again, for me, with regard to maintenance, a daily maintenance. All right. So listen, it's June 5th, 6th actually, because it's early in the morning. It's June 6th, Thursday morning. And I started this April 17th. I started the diet. The whole idea of the diet is that, eating healthy isn't just the answer. It's a combination of the right types of foods that are low in carb, and then you can, ramp up that benefit by doing some intermittent fasting. There's a structure to this where the goal in the process is to go from just eating, in a sense, like the day, and you're eating the food that you need for the day, but doing it in a way that will get your body developing a process to rebuild stem cells. That's ultimately the goal. It's not just eating healthy food, but it is the step in the process. Okay, it's the low carb so that your body begins to work off the ketones, which are the fat. I think it's molecules or fat breakdown of fat. I don't know. Burning fat. Ketones are the fat molecules, I think is what it is. So, but by doing that, your body gets into a sort of a state where it thinks it's fasting, okay? Because you're no longer burning carbs. You're burning the fat, which is, carbs, fat, then proteins. So when it gets into burning ketones, it's thinking that it is at a stage where you are leaning towards starving, kind of fasting, right? So it's kind of tricking the body. The best part is you can eat all day long, because if you eat the right foods and you just keep the carbs under the right amount, then you're in great shape. So you don't have to not eat, but your body gets confused. That's the way I understand it. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to get the body to think that it's in a fasting state so that it gets into this stage that they call autophagy, which is where good cells consume the bad cells. They eat, I guess, is one way of describing it, but they kind of consume or eat the bad cells, right? And then that autophagy then gets the body to start rebuilding. I'm not sure if it's rebuilding or building new stem cells. Not sure about that part of it yet, in terms of the right way to describe it. But ultimately, why are we eating a certain way? It's to get the stem cell growth. That's why we're doing all this, right? So with that, you will actually be healing your body. But it takes a long time, all right? I get that. It's going to take a while, all right? Now, where am I in all this? I'm feeling great. It's been, almost 4 months. February, I guess June 17th would be 4 months. I'm feeling different, and the different is better. Like, I just feel great. Now, I'm not 100% perfect, and I've had some tough mornings, okay, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But more recently, some tough mornings. Now, over these last few months, I had some really tough days. Did a couple things wrong. I tried titrating the meds, and that did not work. Got me into some trouble. Really had a breakdown. So I want you to be super careful with that. But I tried it, and you know what? I'm going to try it again. And I'm there are some things that I'm identifying that I think will be a neat way. Neat sounds like it's just kind of cool, but the right way to help achieve that goal. Okay. But at this stage, June 6th, we'll call it, since it is, I don't know, it's 3 in the morning or something. It's pretty early. But I'm feeling terrific, and I'm super excited to tell you that. Now, I've been very committed to this diet. So I want you to know I've been very, very committed to this diet. And I've enjoyed it, and I've lost a ton of weight. That's not the reason I'm doing it. I joke with everybody that if I had to add weight on my body in order to beat this mental health, then I would do it. I'd get fat and happy, and I would get a part-time job as Santa in Christmas, But thankfully, I don't have to go that route. In fact, I just went shopping the other day, and I'm now wearing 31 pants, and I was wearing 36, and I had pushing 38. I had a couple 38s, like you'd wear them on Thanksgiving sort of days, when you're going to be, you're going to be eating a lot or whatever, but 36s were my size, and then I had a pair of 38s. They're all gone. They're all gone. I don't even want them in the house, because I will never get back there again. I'm committed to this, and I want you to know that, and I'm also saying that as a little bit of a help to me to be accountable. But I will not go back there, because eating this style, developing this is about changing my body in that description I just gave you around the stem cell growth, right? This is about that. This is not about like, I want to lose 5 pounds. This is about changing the actual cell strength, getting rid of the bad ones and getting some good ones. Because I'm kicking mental illness to the curb. It is going to happen. It might take another couple of years, it might take another couple months, but it's going. And I'm going to stomp that bad boy into the ground and smash it into pieces. I am done with this. But I want all of you guys to know that, see it. And I really hope that there's some opportunities that this can be a benefit to you, if either you as somebody that struggles, or if you know somebody and you're kind of curious about all this. And actually, I've got one person that messaged me a few days back. One of the people that was messaging me when they were like, "Where are you?" Because they have a child struggling, and they're really interested in seeing the potential strength or growth that can come from this. So I love that, because that's why I'm doing this, man. I want you guys to know. There's so much out there. You Google it, you'll find it yourself. But you're watching me go from A to B, or to C to E to Z, more or less. So now, something I've started picking up on, and I'm going to leave you with this, because this is the last part of this video for today. When I was titrating before, what I was doing was, I started out with 7 days, and I thought, all right, let's just drop it down to 6, and to 5 to 4. And that didn't work, and I experienced a complete breakdown, okay, because my system wasn't getting what it needed. Now, that was also a couple months ago, and it's a couple months later. I never stopped the diet. I never quit any of that. I went back on the meds after that challenge, still on the meds, okay, utilizing the medications. But something that I'm starting to pick up on is, recognizing that you can give yourself the freedom to, if you're interested in doing this, first of all, I want to be really careful with this, because I really don't want you to titrate without your doctor, but I want you to have the right doctor also. I think, let me just leave it at this. Let me say this. I believe that you absolutely, at some point, do need to titrate in order to back off of the meds. It's like pain medications, right? You're not going to take them forever after surgery. At some point, you have to realize, how do I stop taking them? Do it with the doctor. Just find a doctor that understands the goal of getting healthy and working toward getting your system off the meds. Some meds might be easier than others, and that's just between you and your doctor, right? Like, for example, insulin in my case, which is not mental health, but is for the diabetes. I didn't have any choice but to get off it. It wasn't my option, or it wasn't that I was debating it or trying to get off it. Insulin pulls the sugar out of your blood, I guess is the best way to describe it, right? Well, if you don't have a lot of sugar in your blood because this particular diet is low carb, it just caused me to drop, my sugars dropped too far. And I went into low sugar symptoms, and I didn't have any choice, right? So that was an easy one. I'm like, well, I can't take it because, I'd have to eat more sugar in order to take the insulin or more carbs. Obviously, that's not what I'm going to do. So there's no point in it. At this point, whatever little bit I'm type 2, whatever little bit of insulin I produce, I guess is enough for the little bit of carbs that I'm eating. That's the easiest way I know how to explain it, because if I take it any more, it's more than my system needs based on the carbs that I'm consuming. But that's just an easy example, and I didn't even care whether I got off it or not. That was not my goal. I'm glad to be off it, though, of course. Who wants to be on any medication? Medication to me is, at least with regard to the mental illness, right? I take a couple. I take Divalproex and I take citalopram, right? They're the two that I take. They are like a Band-Aid. So I know I need them currently, but that's because I still have, my cells are still healing. Obviously, I don't want to have to take the medication, but that won't be necessary when my cells are healed. Now, if that takes a couple years, you will be with me for a couple years. I will not give up on this, but I feel like I'm doing 100 times better. I really feel incredible. So I'm not struggling with my challenges as much as I used to. And I was telling a good friend of mine, with me personally, the way I can tell I'm not doing well is if there are things that frustrate everybody, right? There's always something that's right. You stub your toe, the computer crashes, the TV internet goes out. I don't know, just different things like that. Just, life, right? And on a good day, I'm like, well, all right, internet's out, grab my phone or whatever. Like, not like it doesn't affect me, right? Then there's other days where I'm like, I'm ticked, I'm frustrated. And what I've noticed with me, cussing is a reaction that I have when I'm mad and frustrated. And if I can sense that, like I'm frustrated, like I can look at the internet and go, you bugger, then I'm doing good. Because it would have frustrated me anytime, good or bad day. But then there's the day where I'm like I want to rip it off the wall. Like I'm mad, and I'm like, and I'll cuss out, like, you effing stupid piece of, and I can stop myself and go, okay, I'm frustrated and pissed off. I need my medication. Like, it's the cussing when I'm frustrated that's my indicator, clue that this is the day that I'm really wanting to take that medication. Not wanting, but it's going to benefit me. I go through days and I don't experience that, and I'm finding less and less and less and less days that I feel like that, and that's what's great. I think in the last 2 weeks, maybe 4 days that I feel like that in the mornings. So it lasted like an hour, and the meds for me, when I take them after that, kind of kick it in. Sort of like aspirin or something, or ibuprofen. But that's just for me. And that's just a way that I can connect. All right, I'm struggling, took the medications, not struggling. But there's days that I don't have that at all. And I'm having less and less and less and less of those days that I'm feeling that I'm feeling that kind of frustration. So that's where I'm at. That's the stage. This is almost 4 months, not even. I'm feeling great. I've had some definite slips, but they're on camera here. And I wanted you to see it, over these few months. I want you to know this is not something that's painful. This is an easy thing to do. Who cares what kind of... Ultimately, why does it matter what food you eat in a way, right? I remember when I started this, and my daughter shared this with me, my big picture thought was, there is no dessert, there is no apple pie, there's no, ice cream, there's nothing more important to me that I can consume. There's nothing that I taste so great that I'm like, well, that's more important than feeling better. Do I love some treats? Definitely. Who doesn't, right? I mean, there's delicious things out there. And I wanted to share one last thing with you. Okay, so with a lot of the different people that have talked about how to do intermittent fasting, which is you don't have to do it with the keto diet, but it's definitely recommended. It helps speed up the whole benefit process. And they talked about giving yourself, not only within the diet parameters of your restricted foods, but also, give yourself some reward. Absolutely, do that. Diets fail all the time because ultimately you got to have some give. You absolutely have to have some give, okay? And I personally definitely do. I need to have a little bit of a give. So I've been knowing that it's okay, that at some point you have a day off. You can eat a food that you love, high in carbs and all that, right? Just make it a reward. Really have something that you've done within your diet goals, within the foods that you eat, within weeks and months that go by. Set some goals, and when you achieve them, reward yourself. Absolutely. So I'm going to give you one example here. I had a day, I think it was Sunday maybe, and this is Thursday. For whatever reason, I was just not hungry. Like, I wasn't even in particular trying at first. But I noticed that I went almost 24 hours without eating. And it just kind of, like, I noticed looking at the clock kind of thing, right? It was late in the day, and I'm like, I think it was, I know what it was. I should have thought about it then and been more specific. I ate an apple in the morning, which I think was Saturday morning. I woke up 8 o'clock-ish, had an apple. Okay. But then I went the entire day, just didn't think about it. I was working, I was doing some other things, and it was like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I'm thinking, I just realized I hadn't eaten all day, and I wasn't actually hungry, like even at that moment in time. I wasn't feeling the need to eat. So I thought, well, I'm going to be going to bed here soon. I'll wake up, and it was later at 8 o'clock at night, because I want to think it was more like 10 now that I'm thinking back on it. It was like 10 o'clock at night, because I was thinking, I'm going to bed here in a few minutes, and I'm not hungry. Cool. Let's just do that. Let's just go to sleep, right? I'm feeling good. I woke up the next morning, I'm thinking, well, I hit 24 hours. Awesome. And that was initially not a milestone, but it was matched a milestone. Like I had done it once before. And I again woke up and I thought, I again thought when I woke up, I'm actually still not hungry. Like I'm doing pretty cool. I can get a few more hours in. So I said, all right, tell you what, Eric, let's get as far as we can. And if we can hit 30 hours, then you'll give yourself a reward. And I had a reward in mind. 30 hours, because that would have been 6 more than 24. And I knew I'd done 24 before. And I really wasn't starting out Saturday to do this. It was just that I was taking advantage of the fact in the moment that I was actually getting through the period of time feeling good. Got through those few hours. The goal, the reward I wanted to give myself was one of those pot pies that KFC sells. I have never tried one. It was just, I just wanted to try one. I heard they were really good. Wanted to try one. So I thought to myself, all right, if I'm going to hit 30 hours, that'll be my reward. Well, time came, still doing good. Friend of mine was running out to buy some supplies. He's helping me do some work at the house. And he's great. He's an awesome handyman. He's got great skills, and he was helping me. He's just helping me do some things on the outside of the house. And he was going to run to Home Depot and grab some supplies to do that. I said, well, listen, dude. I said, when you're out, can you just grab me a pot pie from KFC? And so when he eventually got back, because I want to think 30 hours had passed when he stopped over. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, the sooner you get back, the better, because I hit my 30 and I'm starting to feel hungry. But by the time he actually got back and I sat and ate it, it was 30. I hit 35 hours. And so I felt very much like I had earned the reward of the KFC Popeye. You know what? I don't even want to know, frankly, what them carbs are. The breading, the mashed potatoes. I'm sure I blew the carbs out of the water. I'm sure of it. But I had never tried one of those before. I had been wanting to try one for like over a year, actually, a long time. I've been thinking about it, just hadn't gotten around to it. So I 100% felt like that was a reward I deserved. And that's an example of what I want you guys to know when you're going on this is not just a diet for a period of time. This is really a lifestyle. However, every 90 to 120 days, you sit down and you take a day and say, I have not had, spaghetti, which is another one of my loves, in a long, long time. Today, I'm having spaghetti. That is okay. In fact, I think it's healthy, I think it's actually healthy for your body to do that. And I'm gonna explain that here in a minute. I didn't want this video to be too long, so I hope this is cool. But any of this kind of stuff, to me, I'm starting to really love it because the benefits. I'm feeling better, losing weight, yeah, but I'm also feeling better. So I'm seeing it work, and I want you guys. I hope you guys can see that it works. But I'm also going to just tell you that it worked in case you can't see it in me. But I'm telling you, I'm feeling better. When I know, because the days that I feel bad are less and less and less and less. All right. But so you not only do deserve a reward, but it's actually good for your body. And this is what I understood from a couple of the nutritionalists, scientists, doctors. It's a little bit like weightlifting. When you do the same routine every day at the gym, let's say you do bench and lat pull downs and curls in that order, you'll plateau, you'll kind of hit a wall, you'll have trouble going up in weight because what your body really does is it knows what you're going to do. And because weight training is technically tearing your muscles, it's protecting you inside or subconsciously, so it's not going to let you continue to tear muscles. It knows what you're doing. So like, oh yeah, he's going to do the lat pull down next. Don't let him get any higher because he's going to pull more muscles, not pull more muscles, tear more muscles because that's how you get stronger. So what it does is it stops you from doing it. So what you got to do is shock your body. So like in the weight training world, you do it for a while, but when you start hitting those plateaus, then you switch it up. If you're doing weights, if you're doing, bench pressing and like chest and arms on a Monday, start doing it on a Tuesday. Do something different on a Monday. Do aerobic on a Monday. You just want to basically constantly screw up your body's rhythm so it never knows what the heck you're doing, and it has a chance to constantly get stronger. All right, so the way I understand this, the diet part of all this, is it works in a similar kind of way. So when your body's expecting you to have a certain pattern, and we always do better with patterns, but every so often shock the system. They say that's what's healthy. So use it in conjunction with a reward system, a reward program. So every couple months, have a high carb day. Have one. Don't just eat junk though. Give yourself those rewards of things that you love. I love spaghetti, right? I'm an Italian. I almost said I wasn't Italian. I am an Italian. But I grew up in an Italian family, and spaghetti was pretty regular. Pasta in general was pretty regular. So, it is a love of mine. I'm not going to ever stop loving it. It's cool. I love apple pie also. I'm not going to not love it. It's going to become very special to me, and it will be my reward every few months. And I will have that one day every few months where I eat some carbs. All right, I'll have that spaghetti dinner. I don't even want to look it up. I'll be honest. I don't even want to know. It's the day that breaks the diet. I'm going to have my delicious meal. I'm going to have my carbs. I'm going to feel like I earned it because I'm going to earn it. And just like I earned the pot pie from going 35 hours, that was a unique, specific thing. I hit a plateau on that. Not hit a plateau. I hit a milestone is what I meant, because I hadn't gone that far without having a meal. And by the way, during those hours, it is absolutely okay to have like black coffee and water. Okay? That's okay. Everything that I've so far researched says your diet or fasting diet, that those hours you're fasting, can be, you can have as much water and black coffee as you want. Okay? And that helps also because obviously the liquids fill up your stomach, and it helps a little bit, but I don't really think that was the reason I went all that. I think my body's you get stronger with this process. So I'm going to leave you with all that. I did not mean to go this long. Big quick summary. These are 2 great food products that are snacks. Snacks. They're not meals. They're snacks. One carb, 3 carbs. At the end of the day, if you're within your carbs, give yourself a treat. All good. The other quick summary was, we're working on the WRAP program. Those things, everything about the WRAP program, the Wellness Recovery Action Plan, absolutely has become so much more poignant as I'm building my body, because I now start to feel it. I'm starting to feel like I'm actually having emotional growth, I guess, in a sense, or like healing within the emotion. Like I'm feeling different. And at my age, I know me. I'm feeling different, which is great. So, but to get you over, we all need to have the WRAP program. I think is great for every human being out there. It's more helpful for those of us that have kind of daily struggles, but it's not like it's not good for anybody. So, and we were talking here about Daily Maintenance List. There should be things everybody does all the time to feel great. I mean, you should identify what helps you feel good and do them, right? What helps you feel settled? Showers and sunlight and, whatever it takes, whether it's, enjoying your pet, whether it's talking to friends, but, know the things that really elevate your wellness and do those things. And then the last thing I was sharing with you is just, I guess, I talked about getting a sense of where you're feeling, but the last point is probably what I want you to really, kind of center on there is, every 90 to 120 to 120 days, you want to be moving toward giving yourself a day off, a break. It shocks your system, which I'm told is good for from everything I've researched. They say it's good to shock your system for a day. Go, oh my God, he's eating carbs, right? But don't just eat crap, junk. Pick foods that are your love and enjoy them. And, like I said, apple pie is one of my loves. I don't need to eat all kinds of different treats and sugars. These are treats with one to get me through the 90 to 120 days. But when we're talking about a true sugary high sugar carb dessert, apple pie is it for me. And like spaghetti for a meal. But pick your meal. Or just a treat that you have decided is exactly that. It's a treat, but you love it. You're not giving it up. You will not have to give up things you love to do this. You will only get healthier and stronger and better, and you'll still get to have the things you love. You just do it with a little bit of intentionality. A word my regional director loves, being intentional about things. So I love that. Listen, this was actually way longer than I meant it to be. I hope you guys are doing awesome. Thank you for all those that reached out and said, hey, where are you? Because I'm still here. I was just, getting some things done. But I am here, and I will always be here for you guys. If you're wondering, like, hey, let's talk, let's chat. I had, one that reached out to me and said, what they actually were asking me about the RAT program, which is awesome because it's a very necessary thing to implement. So you guys have an awesome day. I hope you guys are jumping on board with this because I want to heal our nation with mental illness. It may not be the only thing, so to speak, to do something like this to really help, but I want this to be one of the greatest, revolutions out there. Let's actually help people cure from this. So I hope you guys are doing fantastic, and I will definitely reach out very shortly in the near future. Love y'all.